Hello and welcome to How to Citizen. I am Meghnad. Today we are dealing with Chapter 2, which is on our favorite subject in India, secularism. No, it's actually secularism, but you know what I mean. Today we have some excellent guests with us, Srishti Dixit and Andre Borges from BuzzFeed India. They are going to discuss with us what does secularism even mean. What does secularism mean, pseudo-secularism mean, and what does secularity mean? All three terms are different, apparently. Srishti talks about having immersive experiences. Andre talks about how he has no idea who ran his school. He doesn't know the powers that shaped him, basically, so that's fun. And we talk about how secularism is actually applied on our society and whether it works at all. In this episode, we also forcefully build up tension towards a giant twist in the tale of secularism. Watch out for that. Apart from that, there is lots of talks about starting a new religion and worshipping a flying spaghetti monster. I hope you have fun. So let's get schooling and let's get schooled. Hi guys. Hi. Episode 2.
Hi.
Hi. We have some excellent guests today. We have Srishti Dixit.
Woo!
Woo.
Yeah! That's right.
And we have Andre.
What's up?
Yeah. And we have Shreyas, of course, who is not a guest and a co-host.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Thank you.
I think everyone should have a sound.
Saddest woohoo ever.
Srishti, apart from hearing your voice and being obsessed with it,
I'm not obsessed with it.
I'm just
I'm super fine
projecting
with
my
okay.
thoughts.
Okay.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
So I'm Srishti. I make videos for BuzzFeed India. I'm a video producer. I also act in those videos. I also write those videos. I've now started to edit those videos. And I'm also like a public figure on Instagram and all. I'm an influencer. Yeah, that's my job.
Yeah. So we have an influencer.
An influencer, yeah.
Hey, you're allowed to plug things throughout this podcast. Just letting you know.
I have nothing to plug. Currently, I'm only plugging myself.
Listen, Shreyas, थोड़ा ambitious नहीं हो रहा है.
ऐसे थोड़ी sponsors आ जाएंगे. मेहनत करनी पड़ती है.
Andre, can you introduce yourself, please?
I probably should have gone first because this is going to sound really weird. I am Andre Borges. I am also a video producer with BuzzFeed.
Right.
I currently run Dialogue, which is BuzzFeed India's cultural and social and political hub.
Right.
Where we do content that's related to social issues, weird things that India is obsessed with, fun things that our government is doing a little bit here and there. And I also write, act in and produce videos while also producing other things that are done by a lot of the other producers.
Amaze. Welcome, guys. Amaze to How to Citizen.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Can I ask you one more question?
Of course.
If I were to ask you the same question, who are you? Who is Srishti or who is Andre in 8th grade? What do you think your answer would be? What were you guys doing in 8th grade? Let's pick a scene. It's the second break. It's the short break. What are you guys doing?
Ooh, interesting. You want to go first?
I would always get one break, which is a lunch break. Like, that's all the breaks. But I don't know what Andre would be doing. He would probably be like playing football.
It is quite accurate. It was anarchy. It was like, so my school had multiple grounds, like big football fields, plus we had a huge hockey field, and we had 2 basketball courts.
And you had privilege.
Lots of it.
So much of it.
But no intelligence because everyone would play on one ground. So it was 100, 200 students just running around. No one knows who's playing which football game, which cricket game is going on. Everyone's just running around. And this was our first, like our short recess.
Right.
So the whole day is left. But we've come back muddy, tired, sweaty and ready to sleep. So it was anarchy.
It's a zoo basically.
Yeah.
Srishti, what were you doing in break?
You want to venture a guess?
So you only had one break, like
I
lunch
was
break.
eating, yeah, you're
She
right.
was eating, yeah.
I was eating in that break and talking to my friends.
Oh, the
But
talking
in
to your
8th
friends.
grade, it was a sensitive time for me personally because all our like, you know how sections get divided, like
Right.
A section is all science students, B is all commerce.
Right.
C is like, who gives a shit? You're just here. And you're like just giving money, but like we don't care. So I was in the C section, obviously. But it was tragic because all my friends were in other sections and it was just like terrible. So I would like cry and eat alone.
Amazing.
But during break, I would like obviously meet them.
Right.
But enter the break crying.
So in our school, it was a similar sort of a system
Oh, yeah.
where we were divided, but it was based on languages, right?
Oh,
so all
interesting.
the A grade people were Sanskrit people. C grade were Marathi pure, and B grade in a weird way was Hindi and Marathi mix.
Okay.
So I was in Hindi and Marathi mix,
That's
right? So
a nice place to be.
it was basically the kids who could not make up their mind about anything in life. So basically your C grade,
Lost
our B
causes.
grade, yeah, lost causes. And Shreyas was in the same school.
I was in the same school, but we had a different dynamic. By the time you left, there were 6 sections: A, B, C, D, E, F.
Holy crap.
You know
Okay,
the
EF.
EF.
How many
I've
students?
never heard of an
no,
E and
no one
F.
cared about EF. ABCD was Sanskrit and EF
Yeah.
was either Hindi or Marathi, which I think there's like some casteist overtones there. If all the
Oh, yeah.
Sanskrit kids are in the 4 sections where they
Yeah.
are treated well and no one gives a shit about E or F sections. So that was a little problematic.
Amazing. Majority ruling over minority, guys.
Always.
Like, dynamics
But
are
where were you, like, where did you go to school?
In Nagpur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
How many students were in each class? Like, why were there like
40 students in each class.
Wow.
Yeah. And it
Okay.
was nursery to 12th. So
Oh,
it
okay.
was...
Yeah, it was a huge school. We went
Yeah.
to a huge school. So we
Okay.
went to the same school.
Okay.
And we are both from Nagpur. Yeah, it was a fun school. So when I left, it was a cruel place. When he went, it was a cruel place. Like,
So
nothing
did
much
not
changed.
grow at all.
Just that more fodder for being cruel.
Right.
Clearly.
Yeah. They got better at it.
You know better
Yeah.
at it. Yeah.
So, guys, I want to ask you, Srishti.
Yeah.
Yeah. Describe a place where you would hang out with your friends in school.
Mostly I would like hang out with them in class.
In class.
Yeah, I wasn't like, I didn't play sports and all.
There was only one break. I feel
And
that.
that's in class we are eating and that's it.
Was there a specific dedicated corner
In the back.
In the
all
back.
the way in the back.
All the way
near
in
the
the back.
near a window. Yeah.
Like chilling, looking
Yeah.
out.
What was the
everything.
view out of the window?
There were swings right outside the window. Like you could see like smaller children playing. Like we
Nice.
were the adults,
Right.
young adults in the
Right.
school.
Yeah.
So we could see like children playing and the canteen was right there
Yeah.
and people be eating samosas.
Yeah.
So like it was hustle bustle.
Okay,
Good
which
scene.
cities did you go to in school?
Kanpur.
Kanpur.
Yeah.
Bombay.
Bombay. So imagine we are sitting there,
Okay.
all 4 of us.
In the corner.
Was a mixed group allowed to sit there? That's an important question.
Mixed group.
Yeah.
Boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah.
problem.
No, because in
You
my
were still pure in 8th grade. There was no dirty feelings yet. So it was fine.
No, because in 8th grade, I remember we still had that "Chi ladkiya" kind of attitude. So
Okay.
ladke would hang out separately, ladkiya would hang out separate, and then somewhat like the alphas of the both groups would sometimes go to this group and come back with messages.
Right.
So
Oh.
it was a
There
great
were messengers.
dynamic.
That's highly political.
No, but I am glad Kanpur is more progressive than
Kanpur is
Nagpur.
progressive.
Yeah, sounds way more progressive.
Is Kan more progressive than a Nak? You think are ears more progressive than noses? If we had to think about body organs in terms of their progressiveness.
Why, Shreyas?
Why would I even go there?
See, these are the kind of questions. If you're sitting in Shrishti's corner, you get beaten up.
But it's a good.
Thrown out of
Throw
the
this
bed.
at you.
I would say yours.
Ears.
Because they listen more, I guess, and learn more about things.
But your
and
nose
then
can
they get-
smell the bullshit
But also-
immediately. So
But
then
also
it calls it out. Yeah.
a nose sneezes. A nose sneezes. An ear doesn't take up any space at all. When have you ever heard an ear make a sound?
Wow, what do you mean a sneeze is taking up space?
A sneeze takes up
It's
space in a
released
conversation.
into
right?
vacuum. It's going away as you release it out of your body.
But everyone in the room knows that you sneezed. You took up space.
That's their
from their-
problem. If I have to sneeze, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm sorry. You gotta do what you gotta do.
So amazing Shrishti's corner conversation happening. But guys, we have a Viva tomorrow. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
I'm going to be that douche.
There's always one, yeah.
I was going to remind
चल
you.
revise कर ले यार कर ले
यार कर ले exam में यार बहुत
And
tension
you're
आ
probably
रहा
the
है
guy who doesn't even need to revise. You just need to see us failing at all the questions that you get to feel better about yourself. I feel this is coming from a place of so much hate and contempt for some random kids in my class.
all the toppers
It's not personal.
all of y'all
So guys, we are going on chapter 2. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
And it is called Understanding Secularism. Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm ready.
And I'm just going to read the introduction before we get into it, right? Feel free to make snarky comments about this
Why?
when I'm doing
Secularism is great.
it. But
Why
the
would we?
introduction is amazeballs. So imagine yourself as a Hindu or Muslim living in a part of the United States of America where Christian fundamentalism is very powerful. Okay, imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine
It's
Yes.
it's you don't it's reality.
It's
Yeah, it's not
This
imagining.
is like meta level imagination because we
Yeah.
are already in her corner.
Yeah.
Now we are imagining further. Suppose that despite being a US citizen, no one is willing to rent their house to you. How would this make you feel? Would it not make you feel resentful? What if you decided to complain against this discrimination and were told to go back to India?
That's terrible.
Would this not make you feel angry?
Yeah.
It's also nice they've assumed we're from India.
Yeah.
Like
No,
other.
they're teaching it in India, so
Sure.
Then why aren't they
But-
taking the example of India?
Yeah.
Why are we in United States in the first place?
they're just like we'll detach ourselves.
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Like I feel
Wash
it's...
our hands of any responsibility quickly, and then we'll get into
No,
it.
but guys, it's amazing because by giving this example, they are giving. It's a very woke book, as you must have realized.
Of course.
Because
of
they
course.
are giving you hints about go to Pakistan. Yes. In the US, India seems to be the Pakistan.
Wow.
Matlab, if you're in the US, they're like, hey, go to India.
Yeah.
And when they come to India, they're like, hey,
Hey,
go to Pakistan.
in Pakistan, where do people tell people to go?
Just go to your house.
Yeah. Go
as
back home.
inside as possible. Yeah.
Go to hell.
I feel this is a textbook's version of saying, you know how when you're embarrassed to talk about your own problems, so you say, you know, I have a friend and he has this infection
Yeah.
on his stomach and it's like a big red blue line. I think it's exactly.
Do you have a red blue?
No, my friend. It's not me. It's just my friend.
So, would this not make you feel angry?
I'm
Your
so
anger could take two forms. First, you might react by saying that Christians should get the same treatment in places where Hindus and Muslims are in majority.
What the fuck?
That's a really vicious
That
place
is
to
Yeah.
arrive
very
at right
vicious.
off the bat.
Immediately.
Introduction of the chapter.
Like if you should be discriminated. You come to my house.
Yeah, you come here.
to my house and I'll show you discrimination. Come.
This is a form of retaliation.
Yeah. It's just
Or-
vicious.
You might take the view that there should be justice for all. You may fight, stating that no one should be discriminated against on ground of their religious practices and beliefs. This statement rests on the assumption that all forms of domination related to religion should end.
So many disclaimers.
Yeah, I
This
know.
statement rests on the assumption.
Q. Q. This is the essence of secularism. In this chapter, you will read more about what this means in the Indian context.
Because
Nice.
it's
Yeah,
different
now it's like
everywhere.
Indian.
Different everywhere.
I like how they give you two ways this can play out, but the option one is like you also discriminate against people. Like, why? Don't even. If option one doesn't work, then we'll see about option two.
And it never clarifies which option is the one you should take.
Yeah,
it just
never,
says two
never.
options,
Yeah.
whatever you want.
And like these are students, right? They'll read the first thing and be like,
Yeah.
"Chalo, we'll do this. Why
This-
should we read further?"
Chalo aag lagao canteen mein.
Yeah.
Ready.
If you're an 8th standard student, the first option definitely sounds more agreeable because A, more fun for an 8th grader, B, shorter point.
Yeah, exactly.
याद नहीं करना पड़ता.
Why would I read more?
Guys, to the listeners, I would like to tell them that if you want an immersive experience of this podcast, it is possible.
You
Okay.
sound so dirty.
Yeah, why is it sounding like?
Immersive experience. Gosh. Sure.
If you want an immersive experience of this podcast, please go to ivmpodcast.com/howtocitizen, where you will get a Google Drive link where we have uploaded all the chapters we are reading from. So we are on chapter 2, so just download it. And while we are doing this, you can have that immersive experience. Immersive
experience.
Exactly. Thank you, Srishti.
Yeah.
Thank you. You made it sound way more sleazier.
So, right off the bat, if I can
Yeah.
say something, what I really like about this textbook is how honest it is. Like on the first page itself, it ends a paragraph with, in India, can the state discriminate against citizens on the grounds of their religion? Question mark.
Can it?
किसको पता?
And then it's gone on to ask another question. What is secularism?
So guys, what is your overall impression after reading this chapter 24 hours ago? I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what
nice.
is your...
Good clarification.
I read it an hour back.
Yeah.
Like a proper student.
Amazing.
Last minute
Yeah.
ratta mara
It's
maine.
okay, Srishti, वाइवा कल है.
Okay.
Secularism is good. We should all be doing it. Why are we not doing it?
These are the kind of nuanced observations that I'm here for.
That's what, yeah. This is what you call me for. Yeah.
I think it is such a simple concept to understand. It's just don't discriminate based on religion.
Right.
But it complicates itself so much as you keep reading it.
Yeah.
Like in Indian context is different. The government will intervene but not interfere.
Yeah.
And it just, there are so many caveats to it. But
Yeah.
actually there shouldn't be, because it's basic. Just
Basic.
don't hate because of religion. That's
Right.
all.
Absolutely.
So yeah. And to do that to children and like just kind of
Muddle it up in their head.
like they'll grow up with a confused understanding of the word.
That's true.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's funny, but I was doing some research on random things, and I was like asking a few questions to my parents, etc., whoever I could find. What is secularism, right? So one who is a super sanghi went on a rant about how Pakistani आके हमको खा जाएंगे and whatever.
Obviously, Pakistan तो had to be involved.
So I said secularism के बारे में पूछा तो 0 marks, right? So and then so there were a few people who were like, no, separation of state and church. Some were like, so but what I found was everybody has a different definition of secularism.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think the base understanding is like right, which is like don't discriminate. But I don't know, I didn't find it so convoluted. I thought it was like we should give this to all the people in power currently and like just let them read it.
Yeah.
Little bit, not even like be like, hey, you have to, like just it's on your table.
Yeah.
Just try once in a while.
8th graders read this. You can't.
You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there are a lot of definitions to it, but like the base understanding has to be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the thing is, nowadays the concept is getting so convoluted, right?
Yeah.
So when we define secularism, which we will in our own words, because that is what the chapter is about. But there is a few terms we need to define as well. Pseudo-secular. So after reading this, do you think pseudo-secular even makes sense?
What is it exactly? Can you explain it?
Exactly, I can't, because if that's what.
So it's BS, basically.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
been confused because people like Arnab Goswami etc. use this term a lot. All these pseudo-secular people. What he essentially means is that they are not secular, or they're fake secular, right?
Okay.
But if people don't have a definition of secular in their head, what is he even talking about?
He's just saying that they are not secular. So why is pseudo attached to
Right.
it?
Exactly.
Just say not secular.
Just not secular.
The other one, which is a bastardized version of it, is secular.
Oh yeah,
Secular,
secular I've
yeah,
read
I
a
kind
lot.
of like that. That's a funny one.
Secular.
Secular.
Yeah.
I like the sound of it, not the implications of it.
Yeah.
Just the sound. Just the musicality.
Just sick.
Secular. So let us get into the chapter, right? And we will start right off with what is secularism, right?
Who's to say in today's day and age?
So guys, what is secularism? First tell me what do you think according to you, but now you've read the chapter, so
Yes.
it will be according to that.
According to the still according to me.
Yeah, we've
Personally.
forgotten what's in the chapter.
I know some words.
Some, yeah. You
I
say
remember
something, it might trigger something.
Like if I say oh, you'll be like oh.
Yeah.
I read that.
Yeah.
So Srishti, tell us, what is secularism?
It's quite simple to understand. It's just don't discriminate. Don't take away people's rights based on what religion they are practicing.
Right.
And just don't hate based on that thing about them. It's just weird, yeah.
Did you notice they have used the word tolerance in a manner?
Yeah. Like just सहन कर लो, accept मत करो, बस सह लो कि वो हैं.
Yeah, exactly.
Tolerance is a bad word. It's not a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Andre?
Yeah, similar. Basically, don't discriminate specifically on the basis of, don't discriminate at all, but like in this case, religion. and to allow everyone to practice their own religion,
Yeah.
to not interfere. Oh, we can't use the word interfere, but the government can, right? Or they can
The
intervene.
state- the
state
Right,
can
the
intervene.
state can intervene.
Yeah.
And just let people live. Like, don't be like
Yeah, just don't be like
haters.
मेरा religion तेरे religion से ज़्यादा चमकता है. So just you
Yeah.
can't be like that.
Shreyas?
I don't think there is a meaning for the word secularism today, because this might be like a classic postmodern lament, but I feel there's so much difference now between what secularism signifies and the actual signifier that is secularism, that I feel we have to come up with a new word that is supposed to define the ideas that secularism stands for.
Hi RSS.
Yeah.
मतलब एक तो आरएसएस है, ऊपर से बहुत नर्ड चाइल्ड है, तो मार खाएगा. स्कूल में से
It was
कौन बात
like
करता है?
quite an intense definition. of what-
So what do you think it should mean? Like,
I think it is a protest against any kind of tyranny. It's relief against being a subject of being a subject of a power, or being a phantom of a power in any way, where you have the freedom to practice whatever you want without.
so you're saying eradicate religion as a concept?
No, I'm not saying eradicate religion as a concept. I'm saying it should be equalized to such an extent that it doesn't matter what religion you practice, and you can do that without any repercussions or fears.
Basically,
So that's what it means.
That's the
now.
definition.
That's what it means. Yeah, I was scared, so I had to come back to like the regular definition.
He's describing utopia.
Yeah.
It is utopian. Basically, the understanding of secularism which I got the most when I asked that question on Twitter also, got hundreds of responses. One was constant, is separation of church and state.
Yeah.
Right? Which is what they talk about.
Yeah.
as well, right? And यहाँ पे temple and state होगा maybe?
No, state and religion.
Religion
Yeah.
is
Religion, yeah. But so what do you think that means? Like separation of church and state? Like,
That the state doesn't get to decide how you practice your religion, and
Yeah,
doesn't
that-
have a say in how you
Exactly.
choose to
Absolutely.
And
practice
doesn't
it, yeah.
and doesn't diminish your right to practice your
right. So
religion.
essentially, like I can just read out from that portion. Oh, but that is Indian secularism. I can't read that out yet because we have not arrived there yet.
Okay, I have something to talk about. Can we talk about the image that we have on the first page here?
Yeah,
On
okay.
page number 19.
Yeah.
So in this image, for our listeners who can't see, unless you have a textbook and you are diligent with the work for an immersive
For
experience.
immersive.
In this
Back.
image, there are three kids. One chasing a football, the other chasing the guy with the football, and the third guy behind them with a slab in his hand.
Oh, that's what's happening.
Wait, what is it?
I could not tell that
what
the first
what
time
else
I
could
saw
it be? I don't know.
I thought it was like a
I thought they were all playing football, and this guy's just holding up a supportive placard.
yeah. I thought it was like a sign. Yeah.
Wow, that's
He's
so
just
much
like, yeah,
more.
go guys. I
That's
guess.
so much nicer and wholesome than what I was thinking.
Or he's the goal.
He's
Like like
A makeshift goal.
like makeshift goal, right? Like when you're kids, you
मुझे
make the
लगा
stumps.
मैंने अज्यूम किया था वो एक कोई मिठाई वाला है जो मिठाई बेचने आया ग्राउंड
Oh yeah,
पे.
some
So many-
sales are.
So many
Sales.
interpretations.
Yeah. But yeah, amazing. Our unity lies in our diversity. That is what is written on top, with a lot of buildings also. But so basically the Indian constitution allows individuals freedom to live by their religious beliefs and practices as they interpret these.
Yeah.
Right, you know.
Right.
So essentially, as Srishti said and put it rightly, our state allows us, or is supposed to allow us, to
Ideally must.
ideally
Yeah.
must allow us to practice our religions
Yeah.
in whatever way we want.
Yeah.
But then, that's the thing. So like, as we were discussing, Shreyas, the difference between government and state.
yes.
Have you understood what I told you?
Yes, absolutely.
It was more like a lecture, not a discussion.
No, but can you elaborate on that a little bit?
On the
What-
difference between government.
Yeah, like what we were discussing earlier.
So, whenever I was talking about the state, I was falling into the trap of only talking about the ruling party and criticizing the ruling party. But what Meghnad, you pointed out to me, that is just for, hopefully it's going to end in 1 year, or it's going to be there for 4 more years. But what we are really talking about is the institution. It's the government, it's the framework of laws and ideas that operate the
Yeah,
whole country,
yeah.
and not a party, because
is
parties
in
are
power.
ephemeral. Government is there, always.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, when they say church and state, what they essentially mean is not the ruling party.
Right. The
They
government in
mean
power.
the structure of basically governance that we have. So that needs to be separated. So technically what they're trying to say is secularism means that one should not have anything to do with the other. Right? So they should be able to independently
Chinese
do
wall function,
whatever. Yeah.
function by themselves.
But then there is a twist in the tale.
Of course, there is. Welcome to India.
Exactly. But again, I'm teasing people a lot before we go to that.
Okay.
Why is it important to separate religion from the state? Why do you think so? Is it
This
important?
I vaguely remember. I read this like an hour ago.
Dude,
Anyway,
listen, minorities.
it's so that the state or the government can't really impose laws or like basically make it so that the minorities can't practice the religion freely and without any kind of
Basically to prevent tyranny.
Yeah.
basically
matlab,
tyranny. Yeah.
Majority ruling over
I think
minority.
they use the word coercion and
They have used tyranny. This
Yeah.
tyranny of majority could result in discrimination, coercion, and
Yeah.
at times even killing of religious minorities.
oh my god.
Kafi woke book.
Quite
hai,
on the
as a-
nose.
Yeah, super
Huh?
pretty on the
Kafi,
nose.
kafi.
Yeah.
But again, the picture beside that is amazing again. Like they are on Earth.
And they are so big. Everyone is huge. They are bigger
Gravity is
than the
beautiful.
radius of the earth.
You can't. Where's India?
Ex-
Like you can't even even on the earth. Like shouldn't India have been visible, or any country for
if
that
you-
matter? There's a big
No,
pool in the middle.
Still not.
I think to show a secular image, you have to have India on the other side and not on the side of the image that shows.
So to describe the image for our listeners who are not having the immersive experience. There is a picture. So someone asked this child to draw secularism, and he thought, world bana do, Earth without like weird continents, whatever.
Yeah. And Indians
And
are
a-
taken over.
Yeah,
This is domination by Indians of the earth.
people standing on the earth. Yeah. So you do realize when he drew this, he went like this, drawing this person to person. That's amazing. So yeah, but yeah. So basically, the whole point is that why is it important to separate religion and state? Is because you don't want to be in a situation where our unity and diversity gets gets broken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's compromised.
It's compromised.
You know what? Now that I think about this image, it's actually, I like this image more now because I really think it's a very optimistic definition of secularism, because what it's basically saying is that just to accommodate citizens, to accommodate people so that they are standing uprightly, you move the whole world. You rotate all of Earth just so that people are standing in their places.
No man,
Because
it
that's
just
what-
means if you like stop worrying about like religious differences and all, you can, as Indians, take over the world.
Yeah.
It literally just means that
Guys,
you can stand on top of it if you forget all of this nonsense and
like
just live
super-
your lives.
It means he drew the world first and then he's like, acha, where to put the people now? So I have to put them around the world. That's all it means.
So it says another reason that it is important to separate religion from the state in democratic societies, which is ours.
Yeah.
Ours is the democratic
Yeah.
society. Yeah.
Is it?
Really? I'm shook.
Unsure.
Shook right now by that.
In a democratic societies is because we also need to protect the freedom of individuals to exit from their religion, embrace another religion, or have freedom to interpret religious teachings differently. Basically, civics book 8th grade is telling us ghar wapsi is okay. I mean, love jihad and ghar wapsi both. It's like tum idhar aao, main udhar
Yeah,
jayega.
it's fine. It's chill.
Exchange offer.
Can do this.
Wait, also now that we are on the topic, love jihad is a myth,
Made-
right? Like
yeah,
I
it's
don't
a
think we
made-up
should
thing.
provide a platform for words like love jihad. Like I don't think we should even say that and legitimize that.
Love and
idea.
jihad don't go together. I mean, my basic problem is that jihad is supposed to be...
That's your basic problem against love jihad.
I mean, you are talking about the term. Of course, the concept is problematic. I mean, come on.
Yeah, my basic problem is the hyphen in between the love jihad. Could be an M dash.
No, but Andre, you were saying something about love jihad.
I'm saying it's a made up thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not an actual thing that happens. And it's just blown out of proportion by like
Political actors.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm saying word of mouth.
Also,
Yeah.
it's like such a disservice to all women.
Yeah.
It's just like they don't have any agency.
Yeah.
They are just all being tricked and they are gullible and they are idiots basically.
Yeah.
And anybody is just telling them anything. They're like, हाँ मैं कर लेगी शादी. मैं I guess.
Yeah.
That's fucked. That's just like not cool
Yeah.
to just imply that women can't make decisions for themselves that are
Right.
intelligent or informed.
Right. Yeah, but absolutely, and that's right, because love jihad also has like a gender angle to it, because it's never that, oh, ladki ne ladke ko.
The
Yeah,
guy,
it's
yeah,
always
never-
the
it's always
guy
the-
who has tricked the girl into
Yeah.
believing ki I'll forget everything, my family and all, and I'll do jihad with you.
Yeah.
Just like
It's
what?
really incredible how, with one word, they've managed to be incredibly sexist and Islamophobic.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
the real power of it is that it's made so many people believe that it's an actual thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not a thing, but
So I
That's-
was talking to someone, and I think I want to know if you agree with this, right? So, for instance, I was talking specifically about gender, right? Where the reason why a lot of people today have a problem with something like feminism, or whatever, but men have a problem, is because they are not afraid of equality; they are afraid of the power dynamic inverting.
yeah.
It comes from a place of insecurity, right?
Yeah.
Like where now, men are ruling women, but then ulta ho gaya to kya hoga at times.
Not even inverting, just being on the same level. Like they like men don't want to give up any part of their privilege.
Yeah.
Like not we will be less privileged than them. We'll be the same level of doesn't sound right.
No, but that's the thing, like whoever I've spoken to like a bunch of people who are like, oh, feminism is a sham and like militant group hai वगैरह. Like,
don't talk to these people. Get these people out of your life.
listen, family se baat karni padti. But guys, my family is nice. So the thing is that they really they also come with the idea that equality is not possible because it's a utopian concept.
Of course.
तो होगा तो बस invert ही होगा, right? मतलब the power structure will invert. And
Yeah.
if women are in control, तो क्या होगा?
Yeah.
Every month they'll have periods and then decisions कौन लेगा? Like, I mean, all those
Yeah.
arguments
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah.
I think it's the same with religion.
Yeah.
Where the majority fears the minority, not because they'll become equal to them, but
They'll
because the
overpower them.
structure will
They'll
invert.
take over.
They'll
Yeah.
take over.
Yeah.
It's always like that narrative of, oh, इनका population ज़्यादा हो जाएगा.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, उनका population कम हो जाएगा या फिर,
Yeah.
हमारी लड़कियां भाग के उनसे शादी कर लेंगे. That
Yeah.
kind of a thing. So I think it's never about equality, because secularism as a concept, I don't think is about equality either.
Okay.
It's about allowing religions to be practiced freely,
Yeah.
and the government not intervening in them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not about deciding who is more powerful or not.
Yeah.
It's just letting them be.
Yeah.
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 Right? I think
Yeah.
essentially that. So do you agree with this?
Yes. 100%.
Guys, we have to take a short break now. And after we come back, we are going to reveal the twist in the tale. Yeah.
Welcome to India.
Yeah.
Or the 8th grade.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to How to Citizen. We are here with Srishti and Andre. And now we are going to go to my favorite exercise.
Okay.
True or false?
Oh.
He's gonna trick us.
Yeah, I know. I always get tricked.
Here's the question. The Indian state is not ruled by a religious group and nor does it support any one religion. True or false?
Wow, that was a
Does
good
not
pause.
or should not.
Yeah, what is the...
Listen, 8th graders. तुम्हारे पास
Right, we are
option है.
we're 8th
Hey,
graders.
repeat the question, please.
Yes. The Indian state... I feel we are in KBC now. For 7,500 rupees.
That's all.
We're still in the beginning. The Indian state is not ruled by a religious group and nor does it support any one religion.
By the constitution, true.
I don't want your disclaimers. I don't want your
True,
conditions.
true.
True.
Ooh.
It better be true, man.
I mean,
Yeah,
we don't
is
have
it
the
true?
results yet. We don't know.
Oh, so
When do
So-
we find out?
There is no answer.
There are no answers.
so we're just saying things.
Wow.
Just saying things, yeah.
I need closure, but after this.
It's like dun dun dun.
like again, I think here again it comes to the point of what do we mean by the Indian state? Do we mean how it's supposed to be, or are we talking about the current reality? Like I feel if it's about the current reality, it's definitely
It's a definite maybe.
It's a definite maybe.
No, but Shreyas,
Yes.
before we went on a break,
Yes.
we wanted to reveal a twist in the tale.
Yes.
Please reveal the twist in the tale.
Oh no.
The twist in the tale
Is that Indian secularism is different?
is that Indian secularism is different.
From the entire terminology.
I had to reveal it.
What?
I had to reveal it. But Indian secularism is different than normal secularism.
Just plain old secularism
Yeah.
is different from Indian secularism.
Of course.
So the chapter is a little weird, no? Like basically it goes, ye secularism, but
But yeah,
Indian secularism थोड़ा सा अलग है.
ऐसा भी होता है. But वैसे generally होता है. But here this is what's happening.
Or in your words, welcome to
Yeah,
India.
welcome to India.
Okay, guys, so we have a challenge that if we have a question that if you guys could answer that, nothing like it, can we find a new word for secularism by the end of this episode? Because I feel it's just so loaded with so many previous definitions that we need to come up with a new word.
Oh, this podcast can be historic.
Oh wow.
Amazing.
So
That's a great idea.
Wait, so are we changing like the word secularism or Indian secularism?
Indian
secularism.
secularism. Yeah. It should be defined as something. Basically, yeah.
Right.
So, for instance, I'll just read out the part. It says, according to the constitution, only a secular state can realize its objectives to ensure the following. This is Indian secularism, by the way.
Yes.
Okay.
That one religious community does not dominate another. That some members do not dominate other members of the same religious community. That the state does not enforce any particular religion nor take away the religious freedom of individuals. That is the definition of basically Indian secularism. But then there is a caveat there, which is, do you want to explain the twist? Anyone, guys, please. Why am I the only one hyping up the twist?
Oh, do we know the twist? What is happening?
Yeah.
The lie.
No,
and
but the
then-
difference of the Indian secularism versus the normal secularism, how it can basically intervene.
Yeah. It doesn't interfere, but it intervenes.
Yeah.
What's the difference between interfere and intervene? Like, can you guys give me because I'm curious myself, I don't know. How do you...
Interfere would be maybe stopping something and then changing it.
Yeah.
Intervene
But
would
be
be
like, "Arey, don't do it like this, do it like this."
No. I think they use the example of untouchability to
Yeah,
explain it.
yeah.
And they are like, if it is impinging on someone else's right to practice their religion
Yeah.
or just live their life,
Right.
then they get to intervene and say, no, you can't.
Absolutely.
But otherwise, they don't get to call the shots on how you choose to practice your religion.
Isn't that secularism everywhere? Like protection of religious right and like practice.
So, but that is what essentially they are saying, that when separation of church and state is what they're talking about, it's completely separated. But
Right.
in India, that can't happen because there are so many religions which have some shit practices
Yep.
Okay.
which violate human rights.
And the caste system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That lovely thing.
Untouchability. So they have given an example of untouchability as
Yes.
well. But there is a very recent example, you must have heard of it, Sabrimala. Yeah. So like that was one more instance of this, right? Where women were not allowed to enter the temple. So
Right.
Supreme Court had to intervene and say that cut the crap.
This dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
This shit right there, dumb.
Yeah.
Let's
Exactly.
not continue that.
Exactly. And that is where the women's right not to be discriminated came before the religious right of
Yeah.
Of
whoever
like
was
don't.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the difference between Indian secularism versus other
Yeah.
secularism,
Yeah.
right? At least according to the book,
So
right?
it sounds like a good thing.
It is a good thing. I think it is a good thing because if that did not exist, then untouchability would be there. Women would not be able to enter Haji Ali also
Yeah.
and Sabrimala also, and
Like just leave the houses mostly. Yeah.
and female mutilation would be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a
Yeah.
thing, and like so many practice. Triple talaq.
Oh yeah.
Another
yeah,
one,
yeah.
Right.
That would be also a thing. So again, I think it's a very important sort of concept, but it's misconceived in a lot of ways.
It's
Okay.
twisted.
It's twisted.
It's a little twisted, yeah.
Basically, the definition of secularism, the popular definition which is doing rounds, is that majority is, losing majority and minority is gaining and becoming majority.
Right.
And secularists or secularity They are the ones.
Secularati. That's a glamorous term.
Cousins of Illuminati.
They are the ones ensuring all this.
Okay.
Right? And there is a global conspiracy, guys.
Oh, wow.
Where the Holland is also involved in this.
Of course.
What?
Spider-Man?
No.
Oh, Francois.
Yes,
Oh, that
not
guy.
Tom Holland.
Yeah, sorry. My bad,
अरे
my bad.
वो हॉलैंड वो जो रफल्ली का डील कर रहा था वो वाला रफल्ली वाला हॉलैंड वो वाला जो है ना
Okay.
उसके बारे में बात कर रहा है मैं सो अगेन देयर इज एन अमेजिंग कॉमिक राइट एंड डू यू वांट टू डिस्क्राइब इट Andre?
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Let's read it. Let's assign characters.
Let's be
Oh, yeah,
let's be
let's,
the people.
Yeah,
Table
yeah.
read.
Let's table read. Okay.
I am the government.
Okay, I'll be the narrator.
Okay.
Okay. So we are in a government school. The scene takes place in a government school. In a government school in Simapur, mind you, students want to celebrate a religious festival. Right, so a bunch of students are gathered around chit-chatting. An old man is creepily staring at another child for some reason.
Yeah, weird.
And another...
There's another
old
man
yeah,
staring at a
child. But
he might be her father.
Hey, that got
Yeah.
real creepy real fast.
Yeah, but okay, no. But it's a nice gathering. Okay, so one child says...
Sir, there is a big religious festival next month. We've never celebrated it in school. Can we do it this year?
I'm afraid that isn't possible, Rekha. This is a government school. We cannot give importance to any one religion.
This was the response of the teacher.
Private schools may do that. Government schools don't celebrate any religious festivals in the school premises. Most religious festivals are public holidays so that we can celebrate these at home.
The teacher...
It's just rude TBH.
Yeah. But he was very matter of fact, and I kind of respect
Yeah.
him.
The teacher was quite verbose with his explanation, clearly. But the children are now discussing the impact of the statement they just heard.
I never thought of it this way. I guess we can always celebrate it outside school.
Yes, uncle. Anyway, we were planning to celebrate it in our locality, so I guess it's chill.
So why did you ask about celebrating in school?
No child has ever made peace this fast.
Like, so
with
quickly.
any authority telling them to do anything.
I want to do this thing? No. Okay.
That spirit is broken.
Did it
Okay.
ever happen as a kid that some adult told you something and your response was, I never thought of it that way?
Yeah, I would never see their perspective.
Basically, the panel where he gave this verbose explanation should be Bak Sala. Nikal yahan se.
Chale. It's just-
But yeah, so the comics are amazing here, as you must have seen. And as I pointed out, these are very detailed comics. Because
These are 100% not Indian people also, because nobody in India expresses themselves so well within a close circle.
That's true. In a
Like
government
people,
school.
yeah,
In Simapur.
which teacher has ever given you like this solid an explanation about something so deep?
I know. Basically, what the teacher is trying to say that government schools cannot promote a particular religion.
Yeah.
So as a result, they cannot promote a particular
Yeah.
festival. But so that's the thing. So you guys went to private school?
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
had
no, I didn't. I went to a government school, but I went to a Jesuit school. I was in an all-boys Jesuit school in, So there's like a lot of these things, for instance, since it was a Jesuit school, there was mass on like certain occasions. But we did celebrate like Christmas,
So
Diwali and like a bunch.
your school must be run by a trust then.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But it was a government. I paid barely anything to go to school. So it was a government school.
Maybe
It was like a
that-
public school.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because from my understanding, the essential difference is that when it's a government school, you can't do it because it's a public funded money.
Yeah.
And the government cannot spend money on any religious activities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Public.
Okay.
To distance itself
Yeah,
and not
to
interfere
distance
and all
itself.
of those.
But there is a loophole there because you've heard of Kumbh Mela.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kumbh Mela. So the Kumbh Mela, the UP government is promoting it now with taxpayer money, right? So the logistics of the event, which is like venue अच्छा है, security है, सब कुछ अच्छा है, पानी साफ है, lol. But like, a lot of other people and like बहुत सारा crowd आएगा, but we will have funds. You know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
The government can do that. Because it's logistics and they're not promoting religion there. Because it's basically a public event where they're allowed to spend money on. So, which is a weird distinction. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. This is a fact I recently learnt.
I think there is something in this chapter about how the state can take that type of a call, where it gives preferential funds to like a community or a religion for their betterment.
Okay. Yeah. There is one
Like it
point
can allocate
there.
funds
Yeah.
for them to prosper.
But that's my thing. Like from the way I have, that's my essential also problem with this. Not problem, but confusion with this chapter, and I'm trying to clear it. Getting very less answers, but that's my essential problem. When you're saying that a government cannot promote one religion or the other, why are you saying it in the later chapter that they can spend money to promote basically for another religion?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's also, I mean, so like in school in general, you had a class that taught you, like it was a class called religion for us.
What?
Yeah.
You
But
had a class called religion?
it gets worse. It was religion and morals. Religion
Okay.
was for all the Catholic students, and morals was everybody else, including parts of Christianity that are not Roman Catholics. Like the Protestants were sent there.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. My school's weird. They did whatever they wanted. Like I'm like, where is this? I don't get when you're saying church and state. What's happening?
No, but that's why I think you should check this, and we should talk about this later again. That whether it was run by a trust. If it was run by a trust, they can do that. That's essentially it. Because if
Then doesn't it become a private school?
it is a private school.
Okay.
Then. Technically, if you're a trust, so for instance, tomorrow I want to adopt Pastafarianism. You know Pastafarianism?
You eat
You eat lots of pasta.
Yeah. And I worship the flying spaghetti monster.
Nice.
That's a real religion.
I feel like he's made it up.
No.
Dedicated his life
seriously.
to it.
Yeah.
In Germany, in Sweden, and in France, I think it's a legit religion. Okay, so check
yeah?
it. Flying spaghetti monster.
Wow.
So if I want to start that, and I can't go to the government and say कि एक higher education sauce cess लगा दो ताकि ये मेरे पास आए and I can promote my religion. I can't do that shit.
Okay.
But I can form a trust like your school, I guess, and start a school where I just teach how to make spaghetti. Because that's all they need in life. Right.
I'm not opposed to that.
Not opposed to that at all.
Yeah. That sounds amazing,
Yeah.
right?
Right, it sounds
Unless
like-
it turns into an RSS shaka. So, like,
In that one specific case, yes, I like it, but not in other
when it's
variations.
pasta, everybody's
Yeah.
happy.
But what happens if that's imposed everywhere? People just eat a lot of pasta.
So that's the thing. How can you impose it? I will be the one imposing it. So I have freedom to practice and propagate it as a citizen.
So like a missionary, you'll go everywhere and
Yeah,
like, do
and
this.
with flying spaghetti monster, red sauce, white
He's a
sauce.
pasta
But within that, I feel there will be fights, like the pesto people, the Alfredo people, and it's
then
gonna
you-
get ugly.
Then the religion develops into sex.
Yeah.
Like you go, like there's, yeah.
Like he looks
Different.
like a red sauce guy.
He looks
I can
like
be
a-
the white sauce guy, and you can fight over who you want.
And
to
I'm a
what is
girl,
this?
so I'm pink
What is
sauce.
this trying to decide my religion on the basis of my looks, huh? I don't like this at all. It's not secular at all.
Okay, moving on from pasta to
That got out of hand.
Yeah, really got away from this.
to basically the second way in which Indian secularism works to prevent the above domination is through the strategy of non-interference.
Yes.
This is what it was.
Right.
This means that in order to respect the sentiments of all religions and not interfere with religious practices, the state makes certain exceptions for particular religious communities.
Yeah.
Right. So there is a comic after this. I'm just going to let Shreyas basically describe it.
Yes.
We will not
Immerse
do
us.
yeah.
In this comic, there are two people on the road. They're having a conversation. There are only two frames. It looks very heated. And the description is that a group of friends who have recently bought scooters are meeting to go for a ride together. They've just recently bought the scooters. Okay, remember that. That changes
The
everything.
first time I read this, I didn't know they were friends also.
Yeah.
Group of friends, two people,
Two people group.
Yeah.
One guy is wearing a black leather jacket and a helmet that covers his face, and the other guy is a Sikh guy. So the guy wearing the leather
Why did you
jacket.
describe his clothes also? He's also wearing a nice jacket. It's just not black. It's a good jacket though.
It's a brown jacket.
It's a
It's a
great
brown
jacket.
jacket.
Yeah.
A brown jacket doesn't really come across in a black and white printout. That's
Oh,
why
I'm just going for it.
Budget come hai.
Yeah. Do you wanna play characters? I'll play the black. Or you wanna play the black leather guy? Do you have any?
Sure.
Yeah.
First of all, I would like to say he looks really like angry.
You have to bring that to the character.
I'll play the Sardar.
Yeah.
But he's talking. Okay. Hey, I hope you have a helmet. You know the law in Delhi requires that you wear one. Why aren't you wearing a helmet? Do you want to be fined?
Oye, don't worry, oye.
Hey,
Awful.
I will not
Awful. Terrible.
Stereotyping नहीं चलेगा. क्या यार?
Not in an episode about secularism.
Try again. Try one more time.
Don't worry. I will not be fined.
Now he's from Canada. What is
Now
happening?
he's just. Hey, Paramjit, why won't you be fined?
For Sikhs, wearing a pagdi is very important part of our religion. The government cannot force me to wear a helmet.
Schooled.
Schooled, yeah.
Schooled.
Yeah. So the essential thing that this comic is teaching us is what?
The
Know your rights.
like the state makes
That's
certain
the thing it's
concessions
teaching you.
if it's a religious
Yeah.
like thing. This comic actually explained it pretty well. I didn't understand what the paragraph before it said until
Yeah.
I read the comic.
Yeah.
And it actually, angry illustrations aside, was pretty informative.
Like it's kind of saying that the state should in a way facilitate you to freely practice your
Absolutely,
religion,
yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
not come in the way of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
So the official headgear of Pastafarianism is a colander.
Oh, we're back.
What is that?
A strainer, guys. Strainer.
Oh.
Like
Oh.
pasta strainer.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the official headgear.
Okay.
So you can wear it right everywhere. So like.
Do you practice it? Because it seems like
He
you're
knows
already.
a lot
He's
about
selling
it.
us on the
He
idea.
knows
Are
a
you going to
lot.
convert us right now?
I'm
Listeners,
in,
yeah,
Meghnad. It's happening.
Totally in.
Listeners, we are starting the church of Pastafarianism on this podcast.
I'm going to buy a channi right now. I'll just go out of here and buy one channi. And I'm sorted.
So, like the Sikh is allowed to wear turban. If I practice Pastafarianism, I'll be allowed to wear a colander everywhere I go.
Of course.
Okay. So Sikhs are also allowed to carry kirpans, by the way, which
Yeah,
are
they are
I
allowed
think
to carry.
6 inches
Yeah.
in size, and they can carry it in airports and wherever because
Right.
it's a religious
Yeah,
practice.
religious, right.
So that is the difference between interference and intervening, which you know. Yeah. So essentially. Interference would be not letting them do any of this. You know, not letting Muslims wear skull caps, not letting, basically differentiate yourself according to your religious practices.
Yeah.
Right.
And intervening would be when human rights are being violated.
Yeah.
Then the state government says, the government comes in or the court comes in and says कि भाई नहीं
Yeah.
चलता है.
Yeah.
ये तो allowed
ये
नहीं.
तो allowed नहीं है या फिर बहन जो भी है. And then we reach to the end of basically the chapter where I'm going to read a portion of it. The Indian state is secular and works in various ways to prevent religious domination.
For sure.
The Indian constitution guarantees fundamental rights that are based on these secular principles. However, this is not to say that there is no violation of these rights in Indian society. Right?
Just take it with a pinch of salt. What do you mean?
Indeed, it is precisely because such violations happen frequently that we need a constitutional mechanism to prevent them from happening. The knowledge that such rights exist makes us sensitive to the violations and enables us to take action when these violations take place. So essentially what they're trying to tell us कि झंडू लोग तुम लोग secularism का meaning समझो मतलब तुमको right आएगा and then try to fight according to your rights
Yeah.
and then prevent these crappy things
Yeah,
that
know
are
your
happening
rights.
around.
Yeah, just basically know your rights.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that ends on a great note, I feel.
Yeah.
After confusing the 8th graders for...
Can I?
A lot.
If you want to take it from great to horrifying,
Yeah.
just look at the question
This
next
guy
to that.
again. Why can't you let us be happy, man?
There's a question here, and we checked this question hasn't been changed throughout. Like we checked older editions, and this question is always there. The
Okay.
question says, can you think of a recent incident from any part of India in which the secular ideals of the constitution were violated and persons were persecuted and killed because of their religious backgrounds. The word recent has always been relevant. It's always topical.
That's true, and it's weird though, like, and plus, it's asking specifically about, who were persecuted and killed. But if you remove that, can you think of a recent incident from any part of India in which the secular ideals of the constitution were violated, right?
Yeah.
Because of their religious background. That's it. If you end it with that, on every day, on every news channel, you will see this happening, where it's kind of a tragedy that, while they are talking about secularism, they are actually not talking about the fundamental rights, and they're just like going on and on about this. But it's terrible, and this question is just horrifying though.
Yeah.
It also, it leads into this last line, right? Like, and enables us to take action when these violations take place.
Yeah.
Is like, does it?
So the thing is, they haven't even said if these violations. They are like when these violations.
Yeah, when these
Just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Confidence is
I want to hear this. If you were an 8th grader right now and you had to answer this question, what would you do?
Unfortunately, I would not think too much about it because of my own privilege. I am from a Brahmin Hindu family in an upper middle class house, living very comfortably.
Yeah.
I would not care about it. I'm seeing discrimination and I would not think twice of it.
Right.
That's how insensitive I am. Probably when I'm in 8th grade though.
Right.
Like, I've learnt about all of this. I've relearnt a lot of concepts now. Back then it was just muglo or exam mein likh lo. Like, it doesn't apply to real life.
Exactly.
Obviously. Then later you are like, no, actually it does every day.
Yeah. Essentially, your teacher would be the one giving you the answer, right?
Yeah.
I would look up the guide.
You look up.
Whatever it said, that's the answer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Mm.
But what would you like? That is essentially it. You will answer according to the guide then.
Ideally, yeah.
Or
And
just
I know
ask
that,
my parents and they will they will look up on the news what's a recent case and they'll be like, actually ye likh do, this is happening. I'll be like, yeah, sure. And I will not think about it then.
Because realistically, when you are in that position, you are not trying to be a citizen, you're just trying to be an 8th grader.
You're just trying to
you're
pass
trying
an
to get
exam.
by.
Yeah, you
you're
don't
just trying to
really
write
think
an exam
about
and get
a lot
out
of these
it.
things were just like, okay, it's like I have to pass, I have to know this thing, and as soon as I'm done with it, I'll forget about it.
Do you think there's a way for you or for students to get, like, how do we get the students to care more about the questions or the syllabus or whatever they are engaging with as opposed to just doing it for the marks? Or is that
By
just
getting them engaging teachers
Getting
who
them
actually care
Yeah.
about the subject enough to
Yeah.
teach it well.
Yeah.
Right.
And also the teacher should be equipped enough to
Right.
deal with those questions if it ever gets that real.
Did you have engaging
I
civics
had a
teachers?
really great history civics teacher, Mukul sir. He was great. He was amazing. He genuinely cared about democracy, India as a secular
Oh,
state.
nice.
He would talk about it a lot, and we would have discussions
Yeah.
as children, which is unheard of because it's just one teacher comes, says
Right.
blah blah blah, and goes, and then you make halla. That's
Yeah.
all. But he would actually care about did you understand it? What is your confusion? This is how it actually should be. There are transgressions, but this is how it should be. He would contextualize it and tell us what's happening in the real world. So having better teachers would obviously.
That's amazing though. And it's very rare to find such teachers because I had a very bad teacher.
Yeah.
It
Was your teacher?
horrible. Huh?
Who was your teacher?
I had multiple teachers actually because they keep changing every year.
Right.
But there was this one particular teacher, I forgot her
Do you have
name.
Golar, ma'am? Ever?
No, I did not
Yeah,
have it.
Golar.
So there was this one particular point where I had this teacher who lived really close to the school. Right? We had a very far away school. We had to take a bus and go to that school.
Okay.
Like a prison.
It's not like my dad. हम कितना चल के गए तुम्हें क्या पता? Yeah.
Also privilege.
Also privilege, yeah.
But that teacher literally lived 2 doors down while all the students came from far away, teachers came. She just skipped, man. She just skipped school. Literally, when she was sleepy, Swagatika Ghosh.
Oh,
yeah.
what?
So
Don't name and shame.
we'll beep it.
So she basically sometimes, and this happened literally, when she would make us read chapters, she would fall asleep, and then she would be like, "यहाँ पे क्यों सो रही हो? मैं घर चली जाती हूँ," and then she left.
Hey, you know what? Sounds like a pretty chill teacher. I don't know what your complaints against her are.
So she was teaching us civics,
Okay.
and I mean, come on,
She could, I mean, it is her right to sleep.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so before we go, I have a last question to ask you guys from the exercises.
Lovely.
And like, as you see,
Interesting,
there are exercises in the end, but I have changed the question a little bit for you
Okay.
to make it more topical.
Oh,
List the different types of religious practices that you find in your BuzzFeed.
that's the change you made.
In your BuzzFeed.
It's okay.
So list the different types of religious
Religious
practices that we find in BuzzFeed.
You don't have to name people. You can.
I mean, I don't even know, dude. Like, I don't even notice.
But do
like-
you have anyone who except parents, but from your generation, who actively has like religious practices and does it?
In fact, one of my best friends, he's Catholic, obviously. Yeah.
So obvious.
Yeah, but he's pretty regular. Like he goes for mass. I think every Sunday. Always there for all the feasts. He goes for the novenas, goes for the rosary,
Right.
all that jazz. And he's also not of the belief that like religion is an absolute, and nor should it impede other like whatever religions or anything like that.
So
Like, he's a
why
practicing
does
Catholic.
your friend do it then?
It's his faith.
Faith.
Yeah. One part of it is obviously that he grew up with it.
Right.
Parents like influence was very strong and he grew up with it, but he liked it.
It makes sense to him.
It makes sense to him. It's something he believes in.
Right.
So he did it.
Yeah.
Continues with it.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who just do it because their parents do it. And if they don't do it, the parents will be upset. So they have to do it. I don't even think that they believe in it or like have that faith.
Right.
They think that there is a higher power that is controlling their fate and life and
Their
everything.
parents, that's the higher
Which
power.
is their parents. And also another higher power. But
The force.
mostly it's just to
Adaniya
get
Modi
their...
ji.
Yeah, mostly it's just for parents' approval. Like,
Okay.
Not really believing in it.
I have noticed now that even if people do kind of practice, they don't really do it so openly anymore. Like I feel like even if some of my friends do actually practice, like not the really close friends, but like the second tier periphery friends,
They
if
won't
they do-
Instagram it.
Yeah,
They won't
they won't Instagram it.
Right.
They won't like chat about it at a bar
Right.
or whatever. But they might be, practicing like
And
whatever.
that's decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like when you look at just the general atmosphere right now, there are two kinds of people who go to religious places. One is who have faith, and one is people who go with people who have faith.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
that is it.
Right, yeah.
Right. And that is very evident. Like
Yeah, of
as you also pointed
Yeah.
out, there are like specific. But do you think that is that it is increasing now, that the imposition of you must practice your religion is increasing, or you must respect your God, or you must do that? Do you have that feeling?
I can't say for everybody else
Yeah.
because I
No,
don't
but
know.
your feeling.
Yeah, I can only talk about my personal experience. And in college, I came out to my parents as an atheist. I was like, I mostly followed rituals and religious practices because of my grandmother, because she used to follow it, and I would love spending time with her. So that's why I would I would learn all the bhajans and know everything and all, really like nerdy about it. And then I, over the years, lost faith. I grew out of it.
Right.
I started seeing loopholes and figured out that it is better to maybe not believe in this.
Right.
For me.
Right.
Works out for me personally. And it was obviously devastated because they were obviously really upset about it, because they are very firm believers of the religion they practice, and they would have liked for me to also be the same.
Right.
It's just one less thing for them to connect with me about.
Right.
But they understood. So they
Makes
were open
sense.
to it. So
Makes sense.
I don't know. For me personally, it worked out.
Yeah.
So they get to practice their religion, and I get to practice whatever I want to practice, which is just my life. Yeah. Just practice my life.
Practice my life.
Yeah.
Great band name.
Is Patches your God?
Mm-hmm.
He should be everybody.
He should be everybody's god, yeah.
Yep.
No, as a cat owner, I
Yeah.
completely understand why a cat can be a god. Now
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I
I serve him
genuinely
and I live to protect him. So yeah, I guess he is my god.
No, I genuinely understand why Egyptians worshipped cats
Yeah.
because they are worth worshipping.
Yeah, they
oh
really-
man,
Really?
the thrill you get when they show you love. just
For that 1
just
second.
Bare minimum reciprocation is like so good. It's just you can chase that feeling forever and deal with a lot of abuse. But
Right.
I guess that's how cats work. Yeah.
Maybe it's because I have never gotten love from a cat, but I'm a non-believer. I hope it's a safe space to say that, but I don't believe.
You
in the
are an
religion of
atheist.
You
cats.
don't
In the
believe
religion
in-
of cats.
Oh,
Like,
in
I
the
don't
religion
believe in.
Oh, I thought you didn't believe in cats because I could show you one like right now. We just go down and there's probably a cat.
Yeah, but I think that was an excellent way to end
What
the
was
episode.
the takeaway here?
Do we
Cats
worship
are
cats
amazing.
or pasta? That's
Yeah.
the
Oh,
big
yeah.
question.
The takeaway here, guys, is that intervene and interference are different.
Very, seem to be
different.
different.
Also, the other takeaway is that you have a fundamental right to practice your religion unless you are being shitty to other people.
And interpret it whichever way you want.
Absolutely.
Right.
Interpret it whichever way you want. So now we will score you because we were secretly your teachers.
Oh, wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
But I thought we were students sitting near the window.
Hey, you can also score us. It's fine.
It's like the end of a reality show.
Yeah. Was this the twist?
Yeah, it's that. Oh god.
Yeah. So, Shreyas,
I
Let
feel
me
like I've
score
done
you.
terribly.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How did you do on the test? Let me check. Let me make some calculations.
Oh, there were multiple areas to mark us.
Oh yeah, there are like 8 different sections. I have to like use integration to find out what the final score is.
Please be fair.
I can't make out
Is
what
there
he's
grace
written.
marks?
No.
Passing
Did we
kitna hai?
calculate
Passing marks
They're just making this shit up.
What you get is you are in the gap between the church and the state. You are in that gap. You are
Okay.
the one maintaining that gap with
Oh,
both
wow.
your fingers.
and the distance between that is her marks.
Yes. Yes. We don't use numbers as a
This is the
parameter.
most unfulfilling experience of my life. I'm going to go out of this room and think I have this crushing burden now to keep the church and the state
Hey,
separated.
it is your responsibility. It
Yeah.
is your
God damn
responsibility.
it.
And that's
It
because
is,
we
it
expect
is.
so much from you. So consider that as a compliment
Yes.
rather than a burden.
Yes, thank you.
And Andre,
Wow.
I'm going to score you now.
Oh, Lord.
Can do better.
It's a C.
I'm okay with that.
Can do better.
I'll go
Report
with-
card milega.
That's always great. You
Yeah.
can always evolve and grow from
Get
there.
Always do better.
Get your parents tomorrow, guys. Because तू तो religion बारे मानती
मैं तो
है
lost
नहीं.
case.
Yeah, lost case. और तू मतलब पता ही नहीं कौन सी स्कूल से आया है मिस्ट्री स्कूल.
It's unclear at this
The
point.
whole time you were in a private school and you thought it was public school. What a scam.
Yeah.
What a scam.
My whole childhood has been a lie.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope you guys had fun.
So much fun.
So much
So much fun.
Yeah.
And of course, listeners, as I said, as Srishti has also said, immersive.
I was waiting for you to say. Immersive experience.
Do you guys want to
के लिए.
quickly tell people where to follow you on different social media platforms?
Sure.
Sure.
Follow me on Instagram, guys. It's SRISHTIPATCH. No spaces, all lowercase. On Instagram. And I don't care about Twitter, so it's fine. It's just follow me there. Yeah.
Andre,
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Literally just type in my name, you'll find my handle.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Srishti Patch again. Thanks, guys.
To find me on Instagram, it's @Shreyas_Manohar. Don't look at my Twitter, it's not worth. Yeah.
So follow me on Twitter at
I do still care
Meghnad.
about Twitter.
It's important sometimes.
I mean, you know better, obviously.
Plug करने देना.
We'll have this discussion afterwards. Okay, sorry.
So guys, follow me on Twitter for a more immersive experience. It was at Meghnad, MEGHNAD, and on Instagram I am Meghnad S, MEGHNADS. Thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you in the next episode with a very fun guest. Thank you.
So, that was our episode this week. Next week, join Meghnad and me as we talk to stand-up comedian Prashasti Singh about why we need a parliament.